I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Barn Grill. I'm Mike Hens, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, July the 21st races at Hastings. We do have 8 races on tap. No stakes races, but excellent car, good allowance race,
some tough
feature,
races.
And of course, it's Dayton Cup. Always a lively event.
Get your bow ties.
Nice hats, $500 hats, ties. Everyone's well decked out.
Shine
It's
your
always a
shoes.
popular day, Dayton Cup Day at Hastings.
Yeah, it'll be a huge crowd. That's why I'm imagining that's why we have 8 races that day, is because of the Dayton Cup. As Mike mentioned, no stakes, but there are some really. I had trouble with the card. There's some tough races today.
I had some trouble too. I mean, it's a good card, and it's getting at a time of year where horses are shifting around. It's a lot easier, obviously, when you're handicapping if all the same horses show up every 2 or 3 weeks in the same race, and whoever gets a bad trip, you might want to lean to that one or whatever. But get horses jumping around now, and it makes things for a little more difficult. Makes your job a little tougher, but everyone's job a little tougher.
The first race is a tough one. You can make a case for everybody in here. It's a optional 25 for 3-year-old fillies, non-winners of 2 lifetime, going 6.5 furlongs. Field of 5. I did go to the 5. I went to Lookout Taylor just because it looks like everybody else has gas. Sharp Contrast is quick out of there. Under par. I mean, both those aren't going to go. They both have the Mark Luce barn. But Bear won on the head end for Dino, first start of her career. Cape Light won on the head end, her first start. There was 3.5. That was last year. Just the one start this year. She could rebound today. But I just think it sets up for Lookout Taylor. Last time Under Par beat Lookout Taylor, they went in 23. 46, going 6.5. It's tough to run a horse down doing that. I think Under Par will get pressured again. I like Lookout Taylor to defeat Under Par. I wanted to put Sharp Contrast in there because I really like this filly, but I didn't want to leave out Bear either. Got a 48 bar her first start, and just ran a really professional race around 2 turns. Her very first start, 6.5 furlongs. Looked pro in her first start of her 3-year-old's career, so I threw her in for third. I went 5-2-3.
Yeah, I went to the one horse Sharp Contrast.
I could see it.
It's not. She's probably going to be the favorite. I would think she would be. She started her season off with a good second behind Cypress Park, a well-meant horse in the Anita Bolton barn. Came back and just crushed a field of maidens and did it so easily. Yeah. That's why she earned herself a start in a stakes race. But she was a little too sharp early. She went a pretty quick opening quarter in 23-2 with Here's Hannah, and slowed things down a bit. But boy, she give it up. I don't know if she almost looks like she lost her air or something, because she shouldn't have quit that bad, but I think she shows up with a good work in 1-1 and 2. She's the best sprinter in here by quite a bit, and I think Sharp Contrast will rebound under Amadeo Perez. I put the 5. I agree with Lookout Taylor. This horse should get a great pace.
She's coming out of the stake too. She ran a good third. And she was 5 clear of the 4th horse, so she ran good.
No, she ran a huge race, and her race prior to that, as you mentioned, had some excuses, no pace. Under Par just got away on her, and I think Under Par will not get away on her in this race, so I think Lookout Taylor is definitely very live, and I put the 2 horse Under Par in the mix for third. I thought it was 1, 5, and 2. I kind of really like Sharp Contrast.
I can see
in the Saturday opener. On to race number 2, got some $16,000 claimers, maiden claimers here, going 6.5 furlongs.
Kicks off the pick 5.
It does. The pick 5 got about a $1,980 carryover, so it's a nice little, almost a $2,000 boost to the pot that goes into it. You do need to pick all 5 winners, though, or else it will carry over. You don't need to be the only winner, but it is a $1 bet. I like the 2 Dreaming Apiece. I thought this horse ran a very good debut race against Cedar Shines, who had been racing and had 3 or 4 races. Cedar Shines, Dreaming Apiece was well clear of the 3rd horse. Showed good gate speed, kind of ran like a pro in its debut, and if he runs back to that race, I can't see him not winning. There's not really a lot of speed in the race. A lot of these horses have had a lot of chances, and I think it's his race to win or lose. But the 3-horse Bow Chickawawa coming back up from the $8,000 level, I thought it was a pretty good run behind Got My Mo. That was a tough 8,000. Got My Mo was dropping from maiden allowance. That race was not a quote maiden $8,000. They went down there in 18-2, and he was well clear of the 3rd horse as well. So I think he would be, and he's come back with a good work in 47. I thought this horse was the 2nd best horse, and I put the 5 horse Red Buffalo in for 3rd. Blew the start, hopped, losing all chance last time. Needs to be better at the gate. he's in the mix as well. I went 2, 3, and 5.
I agree with 2. Adrian Peace looks to be the one to beat in here. First start, as you mentioned, I really liked Cedar Chines last time. I thought he was well meant. It was about his 5th start. Got on the lead, never looked back. This guy
chased him the whole way, and he did good. He
did a good job.
I just like the way he ran.
To stick with him, only got beat a little over length. Dreaming a Piece for me. I put Finally Famous in the second spot. You know, you look at Bow Chicka Wow Wow, running awful for maiden special weight, goes down to a maiden 8, runs good, and belongs to the 16. And Finally Famous has been doing the same thing, running not very good in those maiden special weights, but he ran 6th last time in that Panhandle race. Now in for 16. You can see this guy showing up with a better effort today. I put Finally Famous in for second. And I put Unleashed, the other Barb Head's horse. Barb Head's 23% maiden second start. Another one that comes out of that Cedar Chines race. Another one that I think will move forward.
Walked into the gate for the one hole.
Second start.
Didn't have the one hole again, but he did walk
got
out of
the one
gate.
hole again. But just other horses that I think could really, improve in this race. He's one that I would put in my try. I went 2, 6, and 1 in the second. On to the third, Fillies and Mares, 62.50. This is always a tidy little category here. These 62.50s aren't easy. I went with Jazz Lady. She knows the track well. She was here before with Greg Tracy, I believe, and then Phil Hall had her. Ran second for 25 to Morning Blurs last year. Has had a couple starts. Hadn't run since September. A couple nice preps. Down at Golden Gate, third, only beating a couple lengths for 12.5. Went into a considerably tougher race last time. Did run 9th, but now comes up here, goes in for 62.50. Should be tough. Has been working very well since she got here. 47-2, most recently in 59 flat. Phil Hall, Amadeo Perez, top connections. Everything's going right for those guys. Jazz Lady for me. On top of Shayla's Rose, good second behind a tough Don't Tell Judy last time. And I like the way she rebounded. She ran really good her first start. Won first out by 3 or 4. Bounced perhaps off of that. Regressed a little bit. Then last time she came back with a nice effort. She could be sitting on a big one today. Shayla's Rose for me in second. And the start of me has to be respected at this. It's been up and down the ladder. Won an 8 and on 3, tried 12-5, 62.50, in for 4-1. Last time third, just behind Shayla's Rose. I'll have her in my try. 4, 2, and 1.
I have the same 3 horses. I put Shayla's Rose on top. I just thought there would be some speed in the race.
It looks like there's some gas, yeah.
Jazz Lady, Arbonita Rose, I think will show a little more speed. Yeah. I just think Shayla's Rose, I'm splitting hairs here. I mean, the 2 and 4 are the horses to beat, strictly. Yeah. Shayla's Rose ran really well against... The pace was fast, but Don't Tell Judy had a comfortable lead. Like, was clear.
Yeah.
And
it wasn't pressured.
All Shayla's Rose could do was get into a second, but still was an easy second. Jazz Lady been running at Golden Gate, not well, but Source really hasn't run a good race since last August.
Well, she hadn't run since like September, so the first one she ran good, maybe regressed a little bit in her second one. That's why
last year, May 3rd race at Golden Gate was good. It was only 6-horse field, but still, you're right. She's been working well, though. Like you mentioned her workout, she's been lighting it up. She's got good speed, but she's live in here, and I agree with the start to be. I went 2, 4, and 1. I'm going to go Shayla's Rose to win it. On to the 4th race. Now we're at 2 lifetime for Fillies and Mares, going a mile and a 16th. I see some speed in here. Blinkers on, Expensive Taste. This horse showed speed in her races at Belmont, Aqueduct, and even at Turf Paradise on the turf. I know hasn't been able to get out there in her races here at Hastings for more money, but down for 4,000, I think she'll show speed. 7 Chances has speed. Didn't show it last time she didn't break well, but 2 starts back, she was out there in 22 and 1. And Cassidy Finality, Peach Pike, I just see some speed. So I think the 2 Forever Crystal is going to get a very good, comfy pace set in front of her. Small field, no traffic troubles. Yeah, our man. Good third behind Tell Us a Tale and Swagger Cat last time, and it was only she had got nothing out of her first race. She just sprinted.
Exactly.
I think she'll even be better third off the layoff. And I just think there's going to be some sort of pace on in here. And I just like Forever Crystal to defeat Expensive Taste. And the 5 Peach Pike, who's coming back in 6 days, which is, always difficult to come back in 6 days. She did have an outside draw, no chance. Well, she should have had a chance for non-2-4. Even running 3 wide, I thought she'd run a little better than that in the end. But
I know. I liked her last time.
Flat, but must be respected. But I liked Forever Crystal. I went 2-1 and 4.
Nice. I went the other way. I went to Expensive Taste. Those are considerably tougher horses she's been running against. Indie Rock, Omi. Her stalemate 7x70 won the last one. I like the blinkers on. Lopez can get her out there, and if she gets on the lead and she doesn't get much pressure, I don't think they're going to catch her. Forever Crystal, Same reason you mentioned. Didn't get a whole lot of her first race, but she doesn't want to sprint. Then she has to go long last time. I thought ran a corker. That was a good race behind Taliesin Tail Spider Cut. Only got beat a length and a half. After, as you mentioned, basically getting nothing out of her first race.
She'll be really good this time.
I think she'll be a lot better
good enough
this time.
to maybe threaten Expensive Taste anyway.
Yeah, so I have those two on top. I agree with Peach Pike in the third spot. Back in a week, Amadeo Perez picks up the mount. Amadeo having a strong year. And Nancy's 33% coming back in 7 days. So that's an interesting stat for this daughter of Quality Road. 1, 2, and 5 for me in the fourth. On to the fifth. Babies. Maiden, 25, going 3.5. Take your pick.
Guessing game.
Yeah, this is a tough one. Does anybody run? Archon, there's one horse that's run. I went, and you can't decide what to do with 2-year-olds. Go to the Glenn Todd horse, first-time starter, Sir Galovic. Out of that mare that was a really good 2-year-old herself, Sunnyside Gal. Been training nice. Yeah, she was. She was, yeah. 35-3. That last work out of the gate is good enough, I think, to win this under Aaron Greider. Sir Knight for me on top of Calculate, another live 2-year-old barn. Mark Cluche does a great job with his 2-year-olds. Daughter of Escondera. Works look good enough to compete here. Not crazy about the one hole. Worked in 36-1 out of the gate recently, so hopefully she gets out of there. Him and Amadeo Perez always really tough together. The one hole I'm not crazy about, but if she breaks,
it's always a little difficult.
Then she's got a big shot. And I threw in Ruby with Diamonds, the Cindy Krasner horse. Nice 36-3 work for her last time, this daughter of Mass Market. And her works look good, and she attracts Dennis Rojo. 6-1-8 for me.
Yeah, I have no idea. This is one of those races.
All button.
Like, you just gotta go and look at it. If you have the time, go look at them in the paddock.
Come down to the paddock, say hi.
You will. Maybe a story will be told in the paddock when you see them, because on paper, they've all worked nicely. They've all worked quick.
Yeah, they all got decent works here or there. Yeah,
they've all, a lot of there's a lot of good connections in here that do well with babies, and so it's quite a difficult handicapping puzzle here in race 5. I went to the 2 Finally Gotcha for owner trainer breeder Clint Wilson. The mare could run. Finally Flying was a very nice mare. Gotcha Gold. Some of the Gotcha Golds are quite nice here, and not as many. He hasn't had a lot of chances. Gotcha Gold.
Sample size, yeah.
And he was based in Florida earlier, and he had a decent stallion career there. But his last 3 works are very good. 48-1 out of the gate, 101-4, 102-2. I mean, this horse obviously has some run to him, and how fast he is out of the gate, I have no idea. Ruben Lara has been doing work in the mornings for Clint Wilson, so that's why he's on this horse. And I just took
he had a
flyer
winner last
on
weekend.
him.
Our man Ruben had a winner last weekend.
Yeah. So I took a bit of a flyer on him. I agree, Sir Knight. Always, Glenn Todd is always dangerous with his babies, and good work, good pedigree. You gotta have the horse in, and Calculating for Mark Cluche as well. I got this one 2-6-1, but there's a lot of chances in this race. You could go Imercito for a small barn. Eric Gutierrez does a really good job. He's Mel Snow's assistant, and he has a nice final prep in 48-4. He's done well with spending a little bit of money at the sale as well in the past. So there's good horses. It's a nice race. Jim Brown's got a couple in here. There's a lot of good connections in here that could win. And so basically, as I mentioned, get to the paddock, have a look at them if you're at the track.
See who's
really
handling
take a
it.
peek at them and see how they're acting, and see who is really handling everything well. And maybe you might be able to draw a line through some of them that aren't handling it well. But I went 2-6-1 in race number 5, which just kick off the late pick.
Drag
4.
yourself away from looking at the fillies of the Dayton Cup.
The Dayton
can
Cup,
go on down to the paddock there and
go
have a
down
look
to
at
the
the
paddock of the
2-year-olds.
Dayton Cup too. That would be a good move. Bring your wallet though. Race number 6, 6.5 furlongs is the distance for $4,000 claimers, non-winners of the year or non-winners of for a lifetime. I went to the 2-horse Salzburg. I got Ruben Lara. I got Ruben having big
back-to-back wins with Salzburg. Yeah,
but Pace Casualty going long, 23-2, 46-4, 112. I thought he hung on 5th by 6. Wasn't brutal. Citron Kid, Shooting Jacket, Aditya. Those are
considerably tougher race.
Better horses than what he faced last time. His last race at the 4,000 level was going long against 2 good horses. Again, Devil in Disguise and Cedarburg. I just think he's been running against some pretty nice horses. A lot of these other ones they're okay. They have nice resumes, but Salzburg might be a 10-1 shot that might sneak, maybe he'll sneak in there. How about the 7-horse Seeking Asylum for Craig McPherson in the 2nd spot, goes in blinkers. Tried him first time out without blinkers, but he'd been running in blinkers pretty much the entire 2017 season last year, and and I think he'll rebound with a better effort. And I put the 5-horse Peyton's Best for Harold Barabee, Hall of Famer. A good runner-up effort to Kelson last time. Peyton's Best will win a race soon, and perhaps it'll be today. But I've left out one of my buddies, Brother Rod. Catch Me's first for Rennie Lumsden is claimed
off mark
a mark last time and runs him right back for the fork. Another good race, but I thought Salzburg was interesting.
Yeah.
And I'll try this one. I'm going to go 2, 7, and 5.
I did go to the 5. I went to Harold's horse here, Peyton's Best. I don't see, he can sit off Salzburg, but that's the thing. Salzburg might get away. That's going to be a good pick. There isn't a lot of other gas in here, maybe seeking asylum. But I think Salzburg goes. I think Peyton's Best can sit just off him and wear him down under Jeff Birmingham. Big effort last time. Kelson's, we talked, right? Citron Kid, Shooting Jacket. Those ones are way tougher. Kelson's a pretty tough horse down in this category, too, and that was a good effort behind Kelson last time. So I'm going to go back to Peyton's Best on top. I put Catch Me in the second spot. First time for Rennie Lumsden, and he's a horse that always shows up. He's an honest guy. What is he, 9 for 16 lifetime in the money, and he ran for considerably higher for a lot of those races and down at the $4,000 level. Didn't really fire last time, did get claimed, but I'm looking for Rennie Lumsden to get him turned around. Could see Catch Me running back good today. I threw in Laguna Blaze for Carl Austin. This is another horse that's honest. He always shows up. And just the fact that he didn't get to the races till June 24th, you're behind the 8 ball there.
Right. No.
And that was a decent race, too.
These horses had 3 and 4 races.
Yeah, right. So now he's got a race, and I could see him maybe at a bit of a price rounding out the try, and a tough one to figure. 5, 1, and 3 for me in the 6th. On to the 7th. 3 and up, Maiden, 4,000. Going a mile and a 16th, going long, and I'm going to go to the outside horse, Postman. He's a Rosberg out of that Springer last mare, Knickers, who was raced here by the Swift Thoroughbreds and Dino. Coming out of tougher races. Well, just her first start, another one, didn't get started till the 7th of July, was a 16. He was running against Cedar Chines, that Dream in a Peace race. Now in for 4, second start. Enrique Gonzalez, leading rider, sticks with him. I'm going to try Postman to win this in another one that's pretty wide open, but I'll go with Postman. Over Include Quinn. This is going long could help him. Monashi obviously was a monster
includes all
going
distance,
long,
too.
includes distance, big number for the distance, gets Amadeo Perez, who was aboard for his first start of the maiden 25 level. In for 4, going long. I don't want to leave him out. I threw in Include Quinn. And Panting for Gold, one that's been decent going long throughout his career. 4 starts of the distance with a 2nd and 2/3 to show for it. The 2nd was behind Mr. Finch just back on the 10th of June. Went back to sprinting. That was at the 8 level. Went back to a sprint. Didn't like that as much. Now in for 4. Going long. Hamill aboard. Don't leave him out. 7-5-1 for me.
Yeah, I have the same 3 horses. This is just a tough race to try and extract a winner out of, but I went Panting for Gold on top. He's had a lot of chances. 13-time maiden. Hopefully the 14th start is a winning one for the son of finality. He was a good second to Mr. Finch 2 starts back, and I thought that was the big
that
race
could do
going
it,
on.
right?
His best races have been going up on the 16th. 6.5 is just not his distance. Those are maiden 8s. He's in for maiden 4. Richard Hamill will rejoin him in the saddle. He was on him last year. But the 5 horse, Include Quinn in the second spot, as mentioned, for the same reasons. Good pedigree to go long. Good work in 115 and change. Obviously, sprinting wasn't his gig. Maybe 4,000 routing will be his gig. And I put the 7 horse Postman, another one getting huge class relief, just hasn't been effective at all at the higher claiming levels sprinting, so perhaps.
And a Rosberg, so going long.
There's definitely distance.
Not going to hurt him
there too. I went 1, 5, and 7 in a race that I absolutely did not care for at all. On to the 8th and final. Got some $4,000 fillies and mares here. Non-winners at 3 lifetime. I thought it was a 2-horse race in here between the 3 Belly Girl and the 6 Tell Us a Tale. I went Belly Girl on top. This horse showed good speed. Battled on a 5-way speed. I think there's 4 or 5 horses that went out there. 23 and 4. And for these kind of horses, 23 and 4 is usually immediate death. And but this horse hung in and ran gamely to hold second ahead of Storm Cruiser. Go-Go Eileen came from last to win the race. But I thought there's not as much speed in the race. Maybe Carol's Command will go. Perry Ann will probably go. Perry Ann's live in here as well. And Tell Us a Tale. Good win at the non-2 level. Just defeating Swagger Cat. But maybe we'll see how Forever Crystal does earlier in the day as well. Yeah. But Tell Us a Tale, I think, is in a good spot. I thought those are your 3 horses anyway, 3, 6, and 5. Carol's Command I gave a shot to as well, but I do like Belly Girl over Telesatale.
I went to Perianne. I went to the Maiden horse here. She's had a good year so far. She's run 4 times. First out maiden this year, she won by 5. Came back, run 4th, just beat 2 lengths. Comes back, winner non-2. Then in another non-2, or actually she ran a non-3 that day. Only got beat a length by Storm Cruiser and Forest Bliss.
She ran a good race. She was really off.
Yeah.
She didn't break good, and then was off heel. She was really sharp. She wanted to show speed, but Jeff had nowhere to go with her, and she was like climbing over
got in
horses
trouble.
and angled out wide into the turn to stop, not fall down, not clip heels, and maybe something happened. That's why
But she's had a good year.
She's
and
had really good.
Now
year.
she's
You're
had a
right.
little
No,
freshening, and now she gets to go long. All those acceptables, Crystal Bowl was a Crystal Gala, that Smart Strike mare. They go long. I think could be her turn. She's had a little break now. She gets to go long. Off a horse is running well. So I put Perianne on top of Telesatale. Nice win last time at the non-2 level. She's live in here as well, and I agree with Belly Girl. Second last time behind Go Eileen, who's very tough down at this level. 5, 6, and 3 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for analysis. Up next on the screen will be our picks. Mike, as always, you get to go
Back
first.
in race number 1. We got a lot of 2s today.
You do have a lot of
Start off with
2s.
the old 1-5-2 sharp contrast to win it. Then we'll start on a whole raft of 2s here. They're going to go to the 2 Dreamin' a Piece. Going to go 2, 3, and 5. Race number 3, I went to the 2 Shayla's Rose. Going to go 2, 4, and 1. Race number 4, I went to the 2 Forever Crystal. Going to go 2, 1, and 5. Race number 5, I went to Clint Wilson's number 2. Finally got you. I'm going to go 2, 6, and 1. Race number 6, another 2. That's the pick 5, isn't he? Deuces.
There you
Deuces
go.
are wild. Salzburg over Seeking Asylum.
Yeah, the whole
Payton's
pick
best,
5, all
yeah.
2s.
Race number 7, I went to the 1 Panning for Gold. Going to go 1, 5, and 7 in the finale. I went to the 3 Belly Girl. Going to go 3, 6, and 2.
On to my picks. There we go. Back in the first. I went to the 5. Look out, Taylor, the closer in here over the 2 and the 3. I agree with Mike on the 2 and the 2nd. That's the only 2 I have, though. Dreamin' a Piece over the 6 and the 1. The 3rd, I went to the 4. The Quick Jazz Lady over the 2 and the 1. In the 4th, I like the 1, Expensive Taste, over the 2 and the 5. In the 5th, tough one, the Baby Race. I went to the 6, the Glen Todd horse, Sir Knight, over the 1 and the 8. In the 6th, I went to Harold's horse, number 5, Peyton's Best, over the 1 and the 3. In the 7th, I went to the 7, Dino's horse, Postman, over the 5 and the 1. And the nightcap, I went to my man, Maben, number 5, Perianne, over the 6 and the 3.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Just a reminder, if you can't make it out to the track on Dayton Cup Day, I imagine you. If you can't, I can't believe you can't.
You
can get out here at the Derby Barn Grill.
You can't get parking. They'll be parking here at the Derby Barn
There'll
Grill.
definitely be parking and a great atmosphere here as well. Of course, Hastings will be on the big screens, and as well as simulcasting from Saratoga.
Great time of year.
Oh, it's a perfect time of year to be a simulcast fan.
Yeah.
But if you can't make it out to Hastings, please do come out here at the Derby Barn Grill on 176th and 1st Avenue. Always great food and good atmosphere. Our next live card will be, of course, tomorrow,
Friday.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Sunday, 1:50. Yes, then the Friday night start. This Friday, July the 27th. 7 o'clock post. We'll have 7 races on the Friday night,
and then Sunday.
Then we go Friday. We're on the Friday Sundays.
Skip Saturday.
I think it's Friday. It's definitely Friday Sunday the next weekend. But
the weekend after is funny because it's the
Friday, Mondays,
BC Cup and
we got holiday. We got
weekend.
BC Cup. Holiday.
That's coming up.
So, but no, we do. You're great. You mentioned that. Yeah, the Friday nights are coming up quickly. This Friday or next Friday, July the 27th, will be our first Friday night live at Hastings. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, you get lots of winners on the Saturday afternoon program. Look forward to seeing everyone next time here on Handicapper's Corner.
I got the horse right here, the name is Paul Revere, and here's a guy that says if the weather's clear, can do